So, Attorney Linsky, is your client going to be
Yes.
testifying? Okay, let's bring the jurors out then. Thank you. Oh, you do marvelous work. Oh, but you didn't copy it exactly, did you? No. Nothing, well,
I can redo it.
no.
That's why I need 2 copies. You can write
Well,
on that
there
one.
were the other words here. If you find the defendant not guilty, stop and sign the. Yeah, that was another sentence. Let me look at the rest of it before.
Okay.
you change it, okay? Thank you.
Please be seated.
All right, Attorney Linsky.
Yes. The defendant will testify.
Please, question, raise your right hand, please.
Do you swear affirm the testimony you'll give the court and the jury in the cause now and hearing will be the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
Exit to the side. Keep your voice up. The microphone records, but it doesn't amplify.
Okay.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. In a good, loud, and clear voice so that everyone in the courtroom can hear you, could you please tell us your name?
Diem, Pham,
And could you spell your name for us, please?
Diem, last name Pham.
And how old are you?
I'm 28 years old.
And where do you live?
Feeding Hills, Massachusetts.
And where were you born?
I was born in Arlington, Virginia.
And how long have you lived in Massachusetts?
For about 18 years.
And how long, and how far did you go in school?
I got my associate's degree from STCC and I went to UMass and I started nursing.
And when was that?
That was in 2007, 2008.
And are you currently employed?
Yes, I am.
And where are you employed?
At Prior Insurance Agency in Feeding Hills, Mass.
And how long have you been there?
Over a year.
And what is your job there?
I'm an account manager.
And what does that entail?
I service customers with their homeowners and auto insurance policies.
Now, I'm going to direct your attention back to 2014. Where were you working during 2014?
At Axiom Insurance Agency
And in which office?
at the Springfield location,
And what's the address there?
388 Dickinson Street.
And when did you first start working at Axiom Insurance?
I started working for Axiom in October of 2013.
And what was your first job there?
I was hired to be a receptionist customer service.
And did you, over the course of your time there, did you have different responsibilities or different jobs?
Yes.
And what were they?
Originally, I was hired to answer the phone and greet customers, and then I was asked to service some of the policies, and then I had to write new business for auto and homeowners insurance.
And as of September 2014, what were your responsibilities?
They had me oversee the Dickinson Street office, so I helped them manage the day-to-day, assist with the other employees, and assist with customer service.
Now, approximately how many different employees were there at that office back in September of 2014?
There was probably 7 or 8,
And how many would be working at any given moment?
around 7 or 8.
And the other people that you've seen testify here today, were they principally at that office, or where did each of them work?
Andrea is principally at that office. Lance, Amanda, typically we're at the Boston Road location. They would swing in from time to time. And Michael, he was in the Hamden office, and a lot of times he was at the Boston Road office.
Now, as part of your responsibilities, were you responsible of handling any cash at any time?
Yes.
And what were those responsibilities?
I would, at the end of the night, collect the money from all of the other coworkers, and I would count it up to make sure that it's accurate, and I would prepare the deposit slips.
And would you typically do that by yourself or with someone else?
No, it would be typically done with somebody else.
To act as a second control?
Exactly.
And could you describe the physical layout of that office?
The layout was, it was a rectangular office. There was about 4 to 5 desks on each side, and there would just be people sitting on both sides. And there's a counter in front where the customers would just be able to go up to the counter.
How many entrance or exit doors were there to that office?
There was 2, which was the front door and the side door. There was also another door in the back room, which is the break room that leads to the building next door.
And with regard to whether or not those 3 doors were kept locked or unlocked, what was the general practice at that time?
The general practice would be the front door and the side door would be unlocked during business hours. The side door that led to the building next door would typically be locked, I believe. No one ever used that door.
And with regard to keys, did you have a key to that office?
I did.
And to your knowledge, who else had keys?
Andrea Vodish had the key, Amanda Rossi, Lance Laterno, Pete Kenyon, which is another owner of the agency, I believe, had the key, Mike Ganack, Amanda Rossi, and I know there was a floater key.
And when you say floater key, what do you mean by that?
The floater key was used for if somebody else that typically wasn't a main key holder had to open or close the office, they would use that key.
And where was the floater key kept?
The floater key was kept in the desk.
Whose desk?
It was either kept in my desk or Andrea's desk.
And was that desk locked?
No, it was not.
Just an open desk drawer?
Yes.
And was there any marking on that key that you remember?
Not that I can really remember. I know that because it is serving as a floater key, the alarm code for the building was actually written on the key and taped on there.
And when you say alarm code, was it just like a 4-digit PIN number?
Yes, it was.
And easy to remember?
Yes.
But it was written down actually on the floater key on a piece of paper?
Yes.
And how would you use that PIN number?
You would unlock the side door, and you would have to descend a few steps, about 4 steps down. And as you're entering on the left side of the building, there's the keypad, and you would type in the code to shut off the alarm.
And was it common knowledge, I'll say, within the various employees of that office what that 4-digit PIN code was?
Yes.
And you certainly didn't have to write it down, you remembered it, correct?
Yes.
Probably most people?
Yes.
Now, with regard to the safe in the office, where was the safe located?
The safe was located in the back of the building. You had to go through 3 doors, and it was a storage closet in the back.
And how big was the safe?
The safe was about 3 feet tall, 3 feet wide.
And what did you have to do to get into the safe?
You can use the same key you would unlock the door with. You would just stick the key in, turn it, and it would open the door.
Same key?
Same key.
No other combination or any other?
No.
Now, with regard to the alarm system, do you know if the alarm system was electrical in nature?
I believe it was, yes.
Now, you probably heard Ms. Rossi testify about a phone conversation that she had with you on Monday morning in September about a beeping. What's your memory of that conversation?
I went into the office that morning, and as I was going down the stairs, I put in the alarm code to the alarm system, and I just remember hearing that there was a beep in the office. So I had called her and mentioned to her that there was a beeping in the office, and I wasn't sure why. And
what did it mean to you when you heard the beeping?
That there was just something not right about something in the building.
And where was the beeping coming from, as far as you knew?
It was near where the alarm system keypad was.
And you had power outages there before?
Yes.
Now, if I can direct your attention to that Friday afternoon in September that we've been talking about, it's September 12th, 2014. Did you, in fact, put together a cash deposit?
Yes, I did.
And who did you do that with?
With Andrea Vodish.
And what did you do to put together the cash deposit?
That morning, I worked in the Ludlow office. I came back in the afternoon to help close down the Springfield location. That night, we collected all of the cash drawers from the other co-workers, and we both counted out the money to make sure that the counting was accurate, and we filled out the deposit slips.
And what did you do with it?
I put the money with the deposit slip in the bag, and I put it in the safe.
Did you lock the safe?
Yes, I did.
When you put it into the safe, was there anything else in it?
No, there was not.
And was Andrea present during all of that?
Yes.
Now, when was your next time at that office?
Monday morning.
And about what time did you get there?
I got there around 8:25.
And is that the day that you had the phone conversation about the beeping from the server?
Yes, it was.
And you had the phone conversation with Ms. Rossi, correct?
Yes.
And at some point, did you also give Ms. Vodish a ride to work?
Yes, I did.
And when was that?
That was that morning. I had to wait until another coworker came so that she could be able to stay there while the door was unlocked so the other coworkers could get in. And I left a little bit before 9 o'clock to go to the bank and then to get Andrea.
So when you went to the bank, what did you do?
I went to the bank, I made the deposit, I got the deposit receipt, and then I proceeded to drive to Andrea's home, picked her up, and then we went back to the office together.
And this was on Monday?
Yes, it was.
And what did you do to get the money or whatever ready to make the deposit at the bank?
I got in the morning, I took the bag out of the safe, and I opened it to check to see if there was a deposit slip pre-made for it. There was, and I just waited for a coworker to come so that I could leave and go to the bank and then go to Andrea's house.
And how many bags were in there?
There was just one.
And was that unusual?
No, because there have been deposits done on Saturday before, and I was under the impression that Michael, which was there that Saturday, had made the deposit.
And so you didn't think anything unusual about it?
No.
You assumed that Michael had made the deposit?
Yes.
And on that Saturday, by the way, are you aware of how many people were working?
There was 4 people working.
And who were the 4?
It was Michael Ganack, it was Russ, Andrea Anderson, and a new employee that we recently hired. His name was Kyle.
And how do you know that there were 4 that day?
Because I was the one that made that scheduling.
That was part of your duties?
Yes.
And in September of 2014, how were you generally feeling about your job at Axon?
I was unhappy. I didn't feel I was valued there, and so I started looking for employment elsewhere.
And when did you actually start looking for a job?
I started looking towards the end of June, early September. I put in a couple of resumes at the beginning of September.
If I can have a moment, please.
Yes.
I'm going to show you a piece of paper, and I'm going to ask you what this piece of paper is.
This was my email out to the Insurance Center of New England, which is an insurance agency in Agawam, Massachusetts, and I emailed them expressing my interest in becoming an employee there.
And what's the date on that email?
The date there was September 7th, 2014.
The offer will show.
I'm going to object to the offering of the document, Your Honor.
Pardon me?
I'm going to object to the admittance of the document.
What's the objection?
Your Honor, it's not authenticated. I don't believe it's been authenticated properly.
Can I ask her a few more questions about it?
Did you write this email?
Yes, I did.
And who did you write the email to?
I wrote it to Denise C. Remillard.
And what's the date on it?
The date on it was Sunday, September 7th, 2014 at 1:27 p.m.
And could you read it for me, please?
To whom this letter may concern, I am writing to you to express my interest for employment with ICNE. I have experience in both homeowners and auto insurance quoting and issuing, and have obtained my Massachusetts insurance license. I have also received training in progressive commercial lines insurance. I enjoy working with the general public, and nothing satisfies me more than saving my customers money and making their day. I have excellent communication skills. I am well organized and have an outstanding work ethic. I am highly motivated to not just succeed, but to excel in everything I pursue. I currently work for a small insurance branch in Springfield, where I manage the office and the day-to-day operations. While I am passionate and love the work I do there, I feel it's time for me to set out and find a better suited establishment for me to grow and progress with. I look forward to the opportunity to meet with you and discuss what I feel I can bring to your agency. Sincerely, Diem, Pham.
Thank you. I love it.
The objection's overruled. That will be Exhibit 1 for the defendant.
And after you sent that email, did you interview with that company?
Yes, I did.
And at some point, did you receive an offer from that company?
I did. I received the offer on Monday, the 15th of September, around 2 to 2:30 in the afternoon. I was given a phone call to let me know that they were going to send me the pre-employment paperwork to sign and the offer letter.
If I could have a moment, please, Ma'am.
Yes.
If I can approach you.
Yes.
Just leave off. I'm going to show you a document. I'm going to ask you if you're familiar with that document.
Yes, I am.
And what is that document?
That was the offer of the employment at the Insurance Center of New England that was sent to me.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to any further testimony in regards to this document as hearsay.
Okay.
And what's the date on that document?
September
Objection, Your Honor.
15th.
Yeah, that's sustained.
But in any event, did you receive an offer from this company?
Yes, I did.
And when did you tell them that you were going to accept the offer?
I had emailed her back that same day stating that I will sign the form and drop it off.
And did you do that?
Yes, I dropped it off on Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning, September 16th.
Yes.
Right. Now, you mentioned that you had some training that was in insurance, a
Yes.
course you took. Could you tell us about that?
I was sent to a training course, and it was out of Milford, Mass. It was a training course to prepare me to take the licensing exam to become a licensed agent.
And was there a cost to that?
Yes, there was. There was a cost to the course itself as well as the licensing fee.
And did you pay for that, or did Axiom pay for that?
Axiom paid for that.
And about when did you take that course?
I took that course, I want to say it was in either June or July. I don't remember the exact date. I
Of
believe it was
2014?
July, yes, 2014.
And when was it that you had decided that you were going to start looking for another job?
It was towards the end of, it was towards the beginning of September that I wanted to really pursue looking for a new job.
And ultimately, you got the offer,
Yes, I did.
and you decided to take it.
Yes.
And do you remember having a conversation with Mr. Latorno on Tuesday, September 16, 2014?
Yes, I do.
And what was that conversation?
He was in the office and I asked if I could speak with him. He told me. he would
Objection,
meet-
Your Honor.
Okay, that's sustained as to what he told you.
Okay. And in any event, did you resign your job?
Yes, I did.
When did you resign the job?
My last day was early Friday morning.
And when did you tell him that you were resigning?
It was Tuesday.
And how did you tell him?
I gave him my 2 weeks' notice.
And is that the letter that we've seen earlier today?
Yes, it was.
Now, at some point in time, did you learn that he was accusing you of stealing some money?
Objection, Your Honor.
No, that's overruled.
Did you learn that he was accusing you of stealing some money?
Yes, I felt he was treating me differently.
And when was that?
It started that same day after I gave him my notice.
But it was after he gave you the notice?
Yes.
And after you gave him the notice?
Yes.
And did he say anything to you about it?
He had
Objection, Your Honor.
Well, whether he said anything or not, yes, but not what he said.
In
Yes,
any
he did.
event,
Yes.
did you steal the money?
No, I did not.
Did you ever steal any money from him?
No, I did not.
Did you have any reason to steal any money from him?
No, I do not.
That's all I have.
Thank you. See if you can make a space under here.
Good afternoon, Ms. Gass.
See, even if you've got to eliminate some up there.
I have a few questions.
Get rid of the space.
I'd like to go back to the Friday, September 12th, 2014. You testified you were working that day,
Yes.
and you were the one that counted all the money,
Myself and Andrea, yes.
the both of you, and you were the one that placed it in the safe.
Yes.
And so you knew that there was about $7,000 in that bag, correct?
Yes.
And you knew where it was located,
Yes.
and you had access to where it was located.
Yes.
Now, on the next day, which was Saturday, I believe it was the 13th, you weren't working that day, correct?
No, I was not.
But you did have, strike that, so you don't know exactly who was working that day, do you? You weren't there.
No, I made the scheduling.
You weren't there, so you didn't see exactly who was working.
No.
But you did have a conversation with Michael Ganack that day, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
You indicated to him to take the money some money from the bag that you had put in there on Friday night and use it for the change on Saturday, correct?
Yes.
You didn't talk to him about him making a deposit, did you?
No, I did not.
Now, you were the first person to arrive at the office on Monday morning the 15th, correct?
Yes.
And when you arrived, you said you called Amanda Rossi because there was a beeping noise?
Yes.
But you didn't tell her anything else, right? You never told her that there was only one bag in the safe, did you?
No, I didn't think it was out of the ordinary.
But you never told her.
No.
And at that point, you took the money out of the safe, the bag that was in there from Saturday, correct?
Yes.
And you drove to the bank and made a deposit, correct?
Yes.
But you didn't know where the Friday bag was, did you? Is that what your testimony is today?
Yes.
And you never asked to inquire about that from anyone, did you?
No, I did not.
It was general practice, was it not, that over the weekend when you made a deposit of money, you would make two deposits, correct? One from the Friday bag, one from the Saturday bag.
Not typically, because there were deposits made on Saturday as well.
So your testimony today is that you never made two deposits on Mondays ever?
No, there were deposits that were made for Monday if there was two, but there's also deposits made on Saturday as well. So it wasn't out of the ordinary to just have one bag for deposit.
Now, you testified earlier that you started, well, first you testified that you started looking for a new job in June, correct?
It was early August, or early September, excuse me.
So which is it? Is it you started looking for a job in June, or you started looking for a job in September, about 2 weeks before this happened?
I started looking for jobs in June. Leading up to it, I didn't submit any applications until September.
Now, so I want to go back to Monday the 15th, because Now, you talked to Amanda Rossi 3 times, correct?
I don't remember the exact amount of
You
time.
talked to her a number of times throughout the day on various issues,
Yes,
and you never once asked her about the Friday deposit, did you?
I did not.
In fact, you never asked or spoke to anyone about the Friday deposit at any time on that Monday, did you?
I did not.
You never told anyone about it on Tuesday either, did you?
The only time that I had said something was when Mr. Letourneau had said that he believed there was some money missing, and he stated the amount, and I told him that sounded like how much money was taken in on Friday.
Okay. And you told him that you thought that was Friday's money that was missing. But that's the first time you had mentioned it until that point on Tuesday. So you had almost 48 hours.
Yes.
And during this conversation with Mr. Letourneau, you gave him your letter of resignation, correct?
Yes, I gave it to him before.
And that was 2 weeks' notice, correct?
Yes.
However, you only worked 3 days after that, correct?
Yes.
Have a moment, Your Honor.
Sure.
You and Ms. Vodish still keep in touch and good friends, right?
I haven't spoken with her up until probably about a few weeks before today.
But you're pretty friendly with her, correct?
I speak with her during work. We don't hang out outside of work.
So you work with her, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Right now?
No,
You did work with her, is that what?
I did work with her.
So you haven't spoken to her since 2014, is that what you're testifying?
The last time I spoke with her was shortly after I left Axiom, and just recently.
Just recently.
Yes.
When was that? Was that a work-related?
She had reached out to me and asked to have my attorney call her.
So your common ground is you both worked at Axiom and now you no longer do, correct?
Yes.
Nothing further at this point, Your Honor.
Thank you. Anything further?
Nothing further.
All right, ma'am, you may step down. Thank you.
Defense rest.
Thank you. You want to be seen at the sidebar
Yes.
again? Okay.